What's up guys, this is Steve from Trim That Weed, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at two of the most popular power stations, Zero and Jackery. And at the end of it, we'll give you our verdict on which of these two power stations we believe to be the ultimate power station. These two are great power stations that most people prefer, but at the end of the day, one has the upper hand over the other. So, which brand wins in the battle? For comparison, we're going to look at the Zero Yeti 200X power station versus the Jackery 240. Zero Yeti 200X power station versus Jackery 240. The body of the power station is the first thing that will catch your eye when you're looking at them, and the weight, design, and specifications are the most noticeable factors that should guide your choice of power station. These elements are guided by the size of your RV or van, for example, and your needs. Size and weight. At 7.9 by 5.1 by 5 inches, the Zero Yeti 200X weighs 5 pounds, and it comes with a reliable handle that gives you an excellent grip when carrying it. Zero has been able to successfully keep the weight of this power station down without compromising on its quality, by using plastic for the top and bottom parts of the station. In the middle, a metallic shell. The lightweight design has also been adopted by Jackery, although the Jackery 240 is heavier and slightly larger than the Yeti 200. This Jackery power station is 5.19 by 9.05 by 7.67 inches and weighs 6.6 pounds. So with a 1.6 pound weight difference between them, the Yeti would be your go-to power station if you're looking for a lightweight option. Note that the larger size of the Jackery comes from the fact that it's rather large. It has a rather large built-in handle that you wouldn't fold or move around. Battery capacity. Another big difference, which for most people is essential when choosing the right power station, is the battery capacity. The Zero and Jackery have 187 watt-hour and 240 watt-hours battery capacity. This means that the Jackery 240 power station has a 28% larger battery capacity than the Zero Yeti 200. In simpler terms, the Jackery will give you 53 additional watt-hours for use. And if your device uses 50 watts per hour, it will run for about 1 extra hour than the Yeti, theoretically. Keep in mind that the time the battery lasts is dependent on the device's power needs, and also the efficiency of the inverters is never at 100%, and maybe less than 90%. So, the above device will run for a little less than the theoretical 4.8 hours on the Jackery. Inverter. If you're wondering, the inverter is the nifty device that will convert the 12-volt DC power from the battery to 120-volt AC power in the outlet. These two power stations come with just one AC power outlet. The difference is in the power output. While the Yeti sports a 120-watt and 200-watt surge watt inverter, the Jackery has a 200-watt and a 400-watt inverter. Here, the 120 and 200 represent the amount of power the AC power outlet will put out continuously. 120 watt versus 200 watt. And the surge watt is maximum power output in a pulse, or a much shorter time, say 30 seconds. Generally, that first wattage number is essentially making the Jackery 240 a winner in this category. The two also have different inverters. Jackery uses the pure sine wave power inverter, and the Yeti 200X has the modified sine wave inverter. Again, the Jackery 240 is better than the Yeti because its pure sine inverter produces a cleaner current that makes it perfect for sensitive devices like laptops and refrigerators. That said, you would need the Yeti 200X's modified sine inverter if you need to power electronics that use a higher wattage than an AC output would handle, which is why many people opt for the Yeti. Note that if you use the power station to power smaller devices like TV, laptops, etc., the type of inverter will be insignificant. But for CPAP usage, get the Jackery. USB ports. Zero Yeti 200X not only features more USB ports, but also features the specific ports you need for your different devices. There are the two USB-A ports, two USB-C ports, one of which is a USB-C PD port for MacBooks, laptops, and other devices charged using the USB-C port. Jackery has no USB ports and would only work for your laptop if powered by the standard charging unit that is not a C. Solar input. Both have the 8mm solar wall charging input options, but Jackery's function is a tad limited and doesn't charge as fast. It has a 42-watt rating for the input and a PWM charge controller, versus Yeti's 100-watt input and the MPPT charge controller. Screen. Goal Zero's screen only displays the percentage for power, while Jackery's is more detailed with percentage charge and power input-output details. Comparison table. Both power stations have winning features from the table, and you can choose either option depending on your needs. Similarities. Both power stations are reliable and will have all your devices powered while you're off the grid. Verdict. Which is the ultimate power station, Goal Zero or Jackery? Well, these power stations boast an array of impressive features, and though some are a little disappointing, overall they're great power stations. But if you had to choose one, we'd recommend the Jackery 240. Although it's larger and heavier, it's got the pure sine wave inverter, whose current is clean and perfect for sensitive devices, unlike the Yeti's modified sine wave inverter. The Jackery also boasts a larger battery capacity, and the screen information is more detailed. It does lack the USB-C port though, and the MPPT charge controller, making it much more reliable. A Yeti is the ideal pick because it ensures most efficient charging in the mornings and evenings. But that's not to say the Yeti would be a lousy investment. With its USB-C ports and the 100-watt MPPT charge controller, a Yeti is the ideal pick because it ensures more efficient charging in the morning and evening, and even on rainy and cloudy days. So the winner will depend on your needs and how the perks or features offered by either system suit you. But we'd recommend the Goal Zero Yeti 200X because of its fast charge, lightweight, USB ports, charge controller MPPT, and general ease of use. Thanks for watching.